Hello and welcome to another episode of Geared Toward Gear. My name is Sean and I am so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be a fun video, guys. I'm really excited, and I say that I think probably a lot on some videos, but this one's going to be a lot of fun. And as you can see from the title, this is essentially going to be the first annual Geared Toward Gear budget holiday gift giving guide. And I just had this idea pop in my head about an hour ago. And I know it's not an original idea. I'm sure that I've seen videos like this in the past, but I thought it was a good idea. And so I spent the last little while just kind of grabbing random stuff from around the office and put together, and there's a lot more than you see on the screen. There's a lot more. Put together a bunch of stuff that could be great gifts for the holiday season. We're in sort of mid-November at this point, and the holidays are fast approaching. It seems like, especially in the US, we're starting to celebrate and certainly buy gifts earlier and earlier every year. And that kind of is what it is. But, you know, gift giving, whether you're celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or you don't celebrate anything, regardless, this can be looked at as a guide and just some ideas of items that you could give as gifts around the holidays or really any time of the year. But I am kind of gearing this toward the holidays. And what's great about this is a couple things. One, these are all great items that I personally recommend, that I personally own, obviously, since I have them to show you. And they can be either budget-friendly gifts that you can give to people if you don't have a ton of money to spend, or you have a lot of people to buy for, and you have some people in your life that are into the kind of EDC world. These can be great options for you to save some money giving gifts to other people, which is always a joyful thing to do. But in addition, the inverse of that is also true. Maybe you have people asking you what they can buy for you. Hey, you know, you're difficult to buy for. What can I put in your stocking, or what can I get you? I never know what to buy you. These could be options for gifts that you could receive or ask for. And everything we're going to talk about is going to be under $35. And a lot of it's going to be way under $35. So this is truly a budget kind of gift ideas. And so let's just kind of get into it. You know, gift giving is a lot of fun. I look forward to it every year. And actually, some of these items are actually ones that I bought specifically for gift giving for this holiday season. And we're going to cover everything from knives, flashlights, multi-tools, pens, handmade products, a couple miscellaneous things thrown in there, some medical stuff. So it's going to be fun. So let's jump into it. We've wasted enough time. So let's start with the handmade products, because I think these are super popular. They're getting more and more popular by the day, it seems like, especially if you're active on places like Instagram. You're seeing a lot of handmade products. And to me, that's a great thing, because that's somebody putting their kind of blood, sweat, and tears into something. It's kind of a small business that you're supporting. And so the first one we'll talk about is EDC hanks. These are very popular among the EDC community. These two belong to me, and they came from Shadowborn Hanks. And the link to Shadowborn Hanks is in the description of every video that I do. This one's got this nice kind of anchor theme. This is what I call my nerd Hank. But he does all kinds of different patterns. He's got some really cool Star Wars pattern stuff right now. And just a good dude. So I highly, highly endorse JD is his name, and what he's doing over there at Shadowborn Hanks. So on the handmade theme, let's talk about some leather products. I'm a huge fan of leather, and I've got a few to share with you. So we got a couple keychains. So here's one, and here is another. So this first one here comes from Holiday Leatherworks, and Holiday Leatherworks just does some amazing stuff, and it's super, super budget friendly if you get something like a keychain. Right? You don't have to get a custom-made wallet or holster. You know, just something as simple as a nice handmade leather keychain would make a wonderful gift. And we're talking like 10, 12 bucks in that general range there. So that's one option, and that's kind of the Holiday Leatherworks style keychain. Here is one from RG2 Leatherworks, my buddy Ryan up in Canada. Different style, obviously, as you can see, but still very high quality, handmade, good quality leather. This is kind of an HK style clip. and probably around that same price range, between 10 and 12, maybe 15, somewhere in that general range. So another high quality leather product that you could give as a gift. And then here is a single slip pouch that is also from RG2 Leatherworks. This one I just recently got from Ryan. I'm in love with it. It's amazingly beautiful, and I actually got a couple of these from him and a couple keychains, keychains specifically for gifts. And when it all arrived yesterday, I placed another order because I really like his stuff and I wanted more for gifts. So that is a single slip for holding a traditional knife, and these go for, I want to say, around 25, 30, 35, somewhere in there, maybe depending on the type of leather, but still very budget friendly and just amazingly high quality handmade leather product. So there's that. And speaking of handmade, even this bead that I have here on this particular slip is handmade by my buddy Jesse Bird of Bird's Beads, I think is the name he's going with for his business, and he just started selling these on Instagram, so I'll link his info below as well. So even something as simple as a brass bead that may cost you 10 or 12 bucks, again, could be a great gift item. So there's some handmade options for you, all of which are fantastic. So what's next? Let's move on to multi-tools. So I've got a couple here and a couple more off screen. So let's start with the Victorinox Cadet, a classic among classics. These are in the $20, maybe upper 20s US dollars for a Cadet. Fantastic multi-tool. Here's a Tinker. These go for about $22 US, another kind of all-time favorite Victorinox. And then here is a classic SD from Victorinox. These go for about between 15 and 20 bucks depending on which style. All fantastic tools, all great gift items. So there's a few multi-tool options for you, kind of in the Swiss Army variety. And then we've got a couple kind of mini multi-tools. Here's the Leatherman Micra, which is a favorite of mine because the main implement are scissors, which I use more than anything typically on a multi-tool. And this is kind of, again, going to be in that, I want to say 30-ish, maybe $35 price range for a Leatherman Micra. So there's another multi-tool option. And then here is a Leatherman Squirt PS4. This is a plier-based kind of micro multi-tool. Super handy. I carry this quite a bit. And they're great. Same basic price range as the Leatherman Micra. And another potential gift item is what is attached to this, and that is a Tech Accessories suspension clip. So the brand is called Tech Accessories, and these are called suspension clips. You can clip these to any piece of gear, and it basically just creates a little pocket clip. And it's called a suspension clip because whatever you attach to it is suspended from it and just kind of hangs into your pocket. I love these things. They're super popular. You can get them on Amazon. So another idea there is a suspension clip as a gift. So there are some multi-tools. And if you wanted a full-size multi-tool, I would definitely recommend the Gerber MP600. They go for like 30 bucks, maybe 35 for a full-size multi-tool that's pretty darn good quality. So if you wanted to bump it up, you could get something like that. And then I guess technically this would be a multi-tool. This is the Night Eyes Doohickey. It's a keychain multi-tool. And I've had one of these on my keychain for about probably 5 years or so. Super handy. It's kind of a pry bar, scraper, bottle opener. These types of keychain tools can get really, really expensive, really, really fancy. This one is like 4 bucks. I just recently bought like 10 of these on Amazon to do both as gifts and also for some giveaways on the channel. But for like $4 to throw that in somebody's stocking, I think would be awesome. I would love to get something like that in my stocking. So there is the doohickey tool from Night Eyes. Let's move on to, I guess we'll go to the field notes. This is just kind of miscellaneous. Any sort of notebook, whether it's field notes, Write in the Rain, things like that. They're just popular, and you can get a 3-pack, as you can see, for about 10 bucks. Give it all to one person, split it up among 3 people, whatever you want to do. Another option there for a budget gift. What else? Another kind of miscellaneous is a power bank. These are really indispensable as far as I'm concerned. Super handy. Great to have in an EDC bag if you need to charge your cell phone in the event of an emergency. This is kind of just to represent power banks. The ones that I personally use and carry currently are made by Anker, which you can still get in that like $25, $30 range. This one's like much cheaper, but a power bank would be a phenomenal gift for the holidays. So there's that. Let's move on to pens. So if you're buying for somebody who's into EDC or you're looking for a gift for yourself, you can't go wrong with the Zebra F701. This was kind of my co-champion in my budget EDC pen extravaganza that I did recently. And these go for about $6 or $7. So crazy budget friendly for a phenomenal pen. And one other option is the AirPress from Tombow. And this was my, I guess, runner-up or co-champion for the EDC pen extravaganza for best overall. So there's two options for some great pens that you could give as gifts. The Zebra F701 and the Tombow AirPress. Here's a comb, and this may seem silly, but I actually have a video coming out about EDC combs because I think they're maybe overlooked or underrated as EDC items. It's a very short video, so don't worry, but this is made by a company called Kent, K-E-N-T. All the lettering mostly has been worn off because I've had this for literally a decade, but they're fantastic, and they go for like $10, $8, somewhere in there. So if you know somebody who has a beard, maybe your father, husband, boyfriend, whatever, they're fantastic EDC options. And I think kind of an old school EDC item, right? I think sometimes we forget that EDC has existed since the beginning of time, right? For my grandfather, EDC might have been a wallet, a comb, and a handkerchief. It's evolved over time, and it's different for everybody, but a comb is certainly a part of a lot of people's EDC, and this is a very high quality, very budget friendly option from Kent. So a comb, get somebody a comb. All right, let's do a couple other random kind of miscellaneous items. So this one's kind of funny. I've EDC'd this a couple times in like the last week and a half, like literally carried it on my person because I needed it for something specific. It's just a really small, almost keychain style tape measure. It's useful, it's adorable, and it's like $4. So I just think it's cool as hell. So I bought a bunch of these at Home Depot to give as gifts and also to put in giveaways. So a little $4, tiny, adorable tape measure. There you go. There's another option for you. If I didn't mention, the Tombow AirPress pen goes for about $8 or $9, and the Zebra for about $6 or $7. So we'll talk about knives here in a moment. Let's switch gears and talk about flashlights. And I've got a few others to show you. So one would be the Olight i3T EOS. And I did a full review on this light. I think it's one of the better, more practical budget EDC lights that are out there currently. And they go for about $20. So there is one example of a budget flashlight gift. And here's a couple more. This is kind of one of my all-time favorites, the Lumen Top Tool AA version 2.0. You've seen this probably on the channel before. I just recently posted about this on Instagram. They go for about $19 and they are fantastic, up to 650 lumens on a 14500 battery or 250 lumens on a AA. So two great EDC light options. And here's one more. This is the UltraTAC A1. And the ones in the box are unopened because I'm either planning on giving them as gifts or in giveaways. But here's the light. It's a tail clicky flashlight. Also runs on either a AA or a 14500. Puts out up to 600 lumens, and these go for like $15, maybe 16. So all of these are between like 16 and $20 for any of these flashlights, and they're all three of these are in my top 5 favorite EDC flashlights. And I'm going to do a video on that, and here's 3 of them, so spoiler alert. So let's do one more flashlight real quick, and that's going to be the RhoV Vaughn A1. This is a keychain flashlight. You can kind of see it through there. I've done a full review on this. So if you go to my flashlights playlist, you'll see a full review on this RhoV Vaughn flashlight. You'll also see one on the Lumen Top. That was an older video of mine, and you'll also see one on the Olight. I've not yet done one on the UltraTAC, but the others are out there. So there's some great EDC flashlight options for gifts, and I think they're all great. So let's move on to just another, I guess, miscellaneous item, and that is a precision Torx set. So for kind of on-the-go maintenance of your knives, whether it's tightening down a pivot screw or tightening down a pocket clip screw, these are kind of indispensable as far as I'm concerned. I personally keep one in my EDC bag. And I also have one in my knife maintenance kit, which I've completely redone. I did a video on my knife maintenance kit about, I don't know, it wasn't too long ago, maybe a month ago. And I've created a version 2 that's way better than my first one. And I have one of these or something similar to that in my new kit. And again, I also keep one in my EDC bag, and those go for about $5 at Home Depot. And I bought a bunch of them, like every one that they had in the store when I went there. Because for $5, it's just such a great gift item or giveaway item. They're very practical. So yeah, a Husky kind of Torx set. And then I'll just bring this in here just for fun because those things are super adorable. So what's next? Let's talk about a couple medical items, and then we'll move on to knives. So the first one I'll talk about real quick would be the trauma pack from Adventure Medical Kits. I recently did a video on this. I think it's fantastic, and it cost $25. So that was just in the last few weeks that I did that video, so go check that out if you would like to. And then for more of a first aid kit, here is something from a company called Live the Creed, or LTC. This is their advanced first aid kit. I will be doing a full video on this. It's pretty comprehensive. It's $20. It's pre-built, very high quality components from a reputable company, and it's $20. So a nice first aid kit could be an excellent gift item. I know I would love to receive something like that. So there's an option. So let's get into knives. We haven't talked about any knives yet, and everything's pretty much still on screen. We're good. So I'm just going to kind of bring these in one by one. You've probably seen all of these at some point on the channel. Most recently on the top 5 budget edition that I did just, I don't know, maybe a week ago. So a lot of this is going to be very familiar, but here is a Mora, a fixed blade. This particular one came from the Smoky Mountain Knife Works box, but there's so many variations of the Mora knives. I own so many of these, and for between $10 and $20, depending on which model you get, whether it's the companion, the basic, in this case the clipper, just a great, inexpensive, budget-friendly gift item. So you can't go wrong giving or receiving a Mora as far as I'm concerned. So that's one option for you. Let's do a knife here. So the K-Bar Dozier, obviously I couldn't do a budget gift video without talking about the Dozier. They go for about $18 to $20, and they are fantastic. I did do a full video on these a long time ago, but it's just an excellent knife and super budget friendly. Here's another one, the Honey Badger, and these go for about $30, maybe $35. This actually might be one of the more expensive items here, at like $30 or $35. So if you kind of keep that in mind, that this may be one of the more expensive items on the table, we're doing pretty good as far as keeping it budget friendly. And these things are unbelievably, these are just great knives. I really love the Honey Badger, so there's one option for a budget knife that you could give. Another one would be the Ganzo Firebird Model FH21. This one was a gift from a subscriber a long time ago. Thanks again, John. So there's another option from Ganzo. Here's the Rat Model 2. Any of the Rat series from Ontario Knife Company, whether it's the Rat 1 or the smaller Rat 2 as we see here in AUS 8 steel, are going to go for about $25 to $30. So a great budget folder there in the Rat series. One of my all-time kind of best overall budget knives is the Rake model P801. This was also in my budget top 5 video. These are fantastic and they cost $28. So 28 bucks, you've got an excellent knife. If you want something made in the USA, here is the Kershaw Dividend. This one in particular goes for $30 on Walmart's website if you want the orange color. If you want a more subdued color like black or gray, check Amazon or your favorite knife distributor, and they go for about 30 bucks. So that's the Kershaw Dividend. Put that guy over here. And then lastly, just one more example of a budget-friendly knife is the Cut Jack from Steel Will. This is the mini Cut Jack, which is my preferred size, but they also make a large, and they come in all different colors, and they're around $30-ish, I'll say, somewhere in there. So that's another option. And then last but not least is a pair of gloves. I also have a video coming about these gloves, which may sound weird, but it's a piece of gear that I really believe in, that I think is fantastic and super budget friendly. These are the Mechanics Fast Fit is the actual glove. Fast Fit, which that part is important. These are touchscreen compatible and they go for between $18 and $20. I just recently bought 2 brand new pairs of these, this being one of them, because my previous pair just got kind of thrashed over several years of use. So stay tuned for a video about these gloves, but for between $16 and $20, a great gift item for somebody in your life who does, yard work or, works in the shop or in the garage, or just kind of a general purpose glove. I think they're fantastic. So that is a smorgasbord, if I say so myself, of budget-friendly gift items. Imagine opening these on Christmas morning or whatever holiday it is that you celebrate, or opening your stocking and finding some of these items, whether it's something that's handmade, a flashlight, a tool, a knife, a pen, a multi-tool, some sort of medical gear, even something as simple and benign as a comb or a tape measure, or a pair of gloves, but just some really cool stuff that I know I would love to receive. I'm certainly going to enjoy giving a lot of these things away this holiday season. I hope everybody certainly has a fun, joyful, and safe holiday season. But yeah, it's that time of year. It's time to start creating our wish lists to give to our friends and family, and to start considering what we're going to purchase for our loved ones as gifts. And here is my entry into some budget ideas for holiday gift giving. So thank you all so much for watching. I really enjoyed doing this, like kind of gathering these things together and kind of talking through them with you. I hope you got some ideas. And if you have other ideas for really excellent budget gift ideas, put them in the comments. That way anybody else can go into the comments, read about kind of your recommendation, and we can fill the comments with other budget friendly gift ideas for the person who is inclined to be into this type of stuff. So that's all I got for you. That wraps up the first annual Geared Toward Gear budget holiday gift giving guide. Thank you all so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to me, and I'll talk to you soon.